from our 7 Tasmania studios. Your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A dramatic arrest played out in the middle of a busy Brewer Highway intersection this afternoon. One man has been taken into custody while an officer received minor injuries. Our reporter Louise Hedger joins us now with the details. Lou, good evening. What triggered the incident?
Joe, police say a motorcyclist had attempted to evade them at around 1:30 this afternoon before the incident played out on the Brewer Highway at Lutana. We have some vision which shows the dramatic arrest as it unfolded right in front of traffic. The police officer tackling a man to the ground before a struggle ensued. A motorbike left on its side in the middle of the busy intersection after its rider attempted to flee. A statement from police says the officer received minor injuries during the incident and was treated at the Royal Hobart Hospital. Joe, a man remains in custody tonight, but police are calling for any witnesses to come forward with information.
Okay, thanks Lou very much for that report. Sue Hickey has delivered more bitter blows to her own government, calling Will Hodgman's leadership weak. The rogue speaker is threatening to resign from the Liberal Party, plunging Tasmania into a minority government situation as her anger grows over yesterday's cabinet reshuffle.
With no cabinet position on the table, the state's maverick speaker says she feels mistreated by her own party.
I think their treatment of me has been dumb, without strategy, and quite frankly, as a former leader myself, I just don't get it. They obviously clearly don't like me.
And today labelled the Premier's leadership as weak.
You cannot stand up day after day saying everyone's doing a great job and aren't we fantastic and I've got great faith in these people, etc, etc. At some stage you have to make some very big, bold, brave and accountable decisions.
I'm not concerned about personality politics. I'm concerned about delivering for our state. My focus is on ensuring that we as a government remain focused on the people who elected us and not other politicians.
The cabinet reshuffle spurring Ms Hickey this week to consider an independent move. However, the state's peak business body is calling for her to stay put.
Tasmanian businesses, want to have stability and they want to see this government be able to put forward its policy portfolio that it took to the election. The government was elected with a very clear majority and it's disappointing to see it kind of falling away around the edges.
The opposition referring to the dispute as chaotic.
It's quite clear there's internal chaos within the Liberal Party, and whilst they're continuing to infight, the people of Tasmania are scratching their heads and wondering when they're actually going to get on with their job.
I certainly will talk with all my colleagues about how we can best do that, how we can improve our efforts, how we can shape our team to spend more time talking about the people who elected us and less time talking about ourselves.
Meanwhile, the shake-up will see Michael Ferguson stripped of his health portfolio, with Sarah Courtney to step in as Minister and Jeremy Rockcliffe in charge of mental health and wellbeing. Doctors are welcoming the change.
We see it as an opportunity for a fresh start, and the AMA very much looks forward to working with them in helping them understand what the issues are in health from the AMA's perspective.
But the omission of a dedicated disability services portfolio has angered some.
It looks like they made a decision to remove the disability services portfolio and put it back in under human services. There's been huge concern raised by stakeholders in the disability sector, and today we have a different story.
We are a government that believes very strongly in supporting those within our community who need our support, and that includes those with a disability and those who care for them. So that will continue.
The new cabinet will be sworn in tomorrow morning, as the Speaker says she'll decide her fate by the end of the week. Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
A community has been left devastated after an arson attack destroyed a charity store in New Norfolk early this morning. Nothing in the St Vinny's store could be salvaged from fire or smoke damage, with staff now forced to pick up the pieces after what's been described as a senseless act.
Flames reaching metres engulfing this building on a busy New Norfolk street in the early hours of this morning. Onlookers can do nothing but film the scene as the destruction takes hold. An incident now determined as deliberate.
At early stages, it is suspicious.
Firefighters from the New Norfolk Brigade called to the scene around 6 a.m. But due to the fire's ferocity, they faced major challenges, forced to call in backup from other stations fast.
When we arrived, we had the gas cylinder behind us, fully venting, on fire.
Witnesses reported hearing bangs from the cylinder, a terrifying sound with so many other stores in close proximity. The fire quickly spread to a pile of clothes, then inside the St Vinny's store as it gained its strength. Despite the 6 crews fighting to contain it, it took them more than an hour.
They're pretty chaotic, and then just once manpower started to arrive, we was able to get on top of it.
Now staff are faced with the aftermath and the fact donated items inside the store weren't insured.
We're really upset, of course, that something like this has happened to us. We've been in the community for over 50 years.
Staff say what makes this incident even more disappointing is the fact that most donations made to support the community are on a Monday.
We really are struggling for warm winter clothing, so particularly in this store, it's going to be hard to really find that stock again.
But thankfully, there is a silver lining. One special piece, which has sat in all New Norfolk stores, was salvageable.
It's a brass crucifix, but we're going to remove the smoke and put it in our new shop.
Community members now vowing to rally to support the store, which supports so many, especially during winter.
Just donating clothes, DVDs, anything like that they need, yep.
Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Louise Hedger, 7 Tasmania News.
Meanwhile, the cause of a blaze which destroyed a warehouse in Newtown early Saturday morning is still unknown. The Tasmania Fire Service says because the blaze was so severe and claimed the building and its contents, their investigation was unable to find how it started. The site was leased by King Trailers and was used to store caravans and trailers. The damage bill is estimated at $3.5 million. He helped his boss track down and kill a man believed to have stolen a car. Today, a court heard how Ricky John Izzard pre-planned the harm inflicted on murder victim Bradley Brewer.
This is Bradley Brewer on his final night alive, visiting McDonald's with friends on New Year's Eve 2016. The following morning, he was murdered in Newnham, tortured to death by Mark Rodney Jones. Today, the man who helped his killer faced court. Ricky John Izzard pleaded guilty to manslaughter, aggravated burglary and perverting the course of justice. The court heard how Izzard messaged the victim in the weeks leading to his death, asking about a stolen car belonging to Jones, and how eventually he joined Jones in assaulting Mr. Brewer before Jones fatally held a plastic bag over his head. The pair then dumped the body in Lake Eugenana and burnt the evidence in Georgetown. When first interviewed by police, Izzard lied about his involvement, but eventually cooperated. In sentencing submissions today, Public Prosecutor Darryl Coates said the incident could only be described as a home invasion with significant pre-planned violence, adding the disposal of the body showed callous disregard for the deceased and his family. Jones had maintained his innocence, but was found guilty of murder last week. Izzard's defence lawyer pointed out his client's actions in helping police locate the body of Mr. Brewer, but noted nothing Izzard can do or say would undo the harm he'd caused. He's expected to return to court on Friday for sentencing. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
And one of our own has been recognised at television's Night of Nights. Luke McGregor from Rosehaven, a comedy filmed in Tasmania, won the award for Most Popular Actor at the Logies. In accepting his first Logie award, the Rosehaven star admitted he hadn't prepared a speech and told the crowd he was single and would be at the after party.
I didn't prepare a speech, I thought it'd be arrogant. Because if you win Most Popular, what do you... Thanks me, I guess?
Co-star Celia Piccola missed out on an award. It's been an early and steady start to the flu season in Tasmania. There have been more than 1,200 confirmed cases so far this year, much higher than previous years. In the first 3 weeks of June, there were at least 80 cases reported each week, according to Public Health. Authorities recommend vaccinations for people over 6 months of age. It's been a day of wild weather, but conditions are expected to ease this evening. High wind speeds have been recorded across the state, in Hobart reaching 95 kilometres an hour at 8 a.m. The SES received 2 calls for assistance, a fallen tree in Glenorchy and roof damage in Moona. Flood watches and warnings have been issued in other parts of the state. Tasmanian school children are the latest edge in a new road safety campaign. Students from 3 schools across the state, including Moona Primary, are becoming ambassadors for an RACT initiative. They'll be used to spread 12 key road safety rules like slow down for kids, wear a helmet and buckle up.
If you hear your own child tell you that you're behaving badly, you're more likely to take notice of that. And having a child tap you on the shoulder and give you a challenge to be safe on and around the roads is certainly going to get the message through loud and clear.
I've been talking to my mum and dad saying that you should buckle up before we go, just in case we come out and there's a car and you don't realise and then we crash.
RACT's campaign will run on social media for 12 weeks, with each week dedicated to one of the rules. With the state's annual celebration of singing just around the corner, around 500 Hobart school children are warming up their voices in their final rehearsals for 2 sold-out performances. Tasmania Sings will deliver an all-Australian choral spectacular over 2 nights to mark the start of the Festival of Voices.
It's designed for us to showcase Australian composers, Australian ideas and Australian arrangers.
Because it's such an amazing, huge festival with all these lovely people that have such good voices, it's just amazing to feel a part of it and everything.
The festival runs until July 14. Now let's take a look at the day's business and finance news. The Australian stock market has finished higher but failed to make strong gains after the US and China agreed to resume trade talks over the weekend. The ASX 200 index rose 29.3 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 69.93 US cents and 75.76 Japanese yen.
North Launceston coach Taylor Whitford is making no excuses for the side's disappointing 37-point loss to Lauderdale. The Northern Bombers suffered only their 2nd loss for the season during the soggy Saturday match, marking Lauderdale's first win at UTAS Stadium since 2017.
I mean, we know they're really good around the contest, and probably in the second half more so. I thought the first half we were pretty good around the contest. Second half we just got outworked with inside that, and we weren't able to get the ball forward.
To walk off the field up there with the wins, definitely a better feeling than what we've had in the past up there.
North Launceston is now preparing to face Glenorchy this weekend, while Lauderdale has the bye before a clash with North Hobart. And the votes are in for the TSL Player of the Year after round 13, with Glenorchy's Callan Daly judged best on ground after the side's 68-point win over the Tigers. Lauderdale captain Bryce Walsh picked up 3 votes after the Southern Bombers thumped North Launceston. And 4 goals from Mitch Thorpe against Clarence saw the Launceston coach top the poll. And to the leaderboard, and North Launceston's Brad Cox-Goodger now sits 2 votes ahead of Lauderdale's Hayden Smith and Sam Siggins. Tasmanian Formula 3 star Alex Peroni has shared an awkward moment with teammate Sebastian Fernandez after accidentally eliminating both cars at Spielberg in Austria. Peroni had made his way up to 16th after starting 21st on the grid, but the hard work was quickly undone after this unfortunate tangle as he tried to overtake Fernandez.
Not a lot of eye contact between those two.
Fernandez made a frosty exit from the track, clearly unimpressed.
Good evening. The south and east with the best weather today as showers fill over the west and north. Campania the high with 19. Hobart 18 degrees, while the northern centres all recorded 13. Friendly Beaches 18 today, Ouse 17, Flinders Island, St Helens and Strawn 14, Low Head and King Island 13, Lyre-Weenie 7. Some patchy cloud over the southeast today as heavy clouds swept over the west and north. Best rainfall today to 9 a.m, 60 millimetres at Forth side, while later today 21 millimetres fell at Mount Reid. There is a cold air mass following the cold fronts over our region. Onshore winds produce low cloud over the southwest of WA and over the east of the continent. Mostly clear on the mainland apart from the thin high cloud over the southeast. Tomorrow the belt of high pressure will persist over the southern mainland as a pair of fronts move to the east of Tasmania, another one right to our southwest. The winds west to northwesterly at 20 to 30 knots, reaching 35 knots over the south. A shift to the southwest later in the day. Swells at 6 metres in western and southern waters. A gale warning for all coastal waters except between Stanley and Sandy Cape. A strong wind warning applies for those waters. A small craft wind alert for the lakes. A minor flood warning for the Mersey, Macquarie and North Esk. Flood watch for northern and northeastern catchments and also the Huon. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Hobart, showers easing, 8 overnight, 14 the top, 12 for Adventure Bay, a windy day and 8 degrees for Tarraleah. Launceston, early showers, 15 the top, 14 for Devonport and a morning shower 2 for Bridport, 14 the maximum. And for Burnie, top of 13, winds easing with showers, showery and windy for Strawn, 12 the top, 13 for Marrawar. St Helens tomorrow, morning showers and 15 also for Swansea, Whitemark 14 degrees. On Wednesday, light showers over the west and far south, but fine for the rest of the state. Fine on Thursday and partly cloudy after a morning frost. And on Friday, fine apart from possible showers over the east and northwest. Partly cloudy for Perth and Adelaide tomorrow, a possible shower for Melbourne, sunny in Sydney and Canberra, and partly cloudy and 24 in Brisbane. Partly cloudy and still windy, Joe, and it'll be blowing again tomorrow, 15 right now in Hobart, 12 in Launceston and Devonport. See you later.
Okay, thank you very much, Murph. Well, that's all from the team for now. We'll see you with updates throughout the evening. Bye-bye.